You are tuned into 50/50 News on the House of the Princess channel, hosted by Princess AV, featuring world, local, celebrity, and YouTube news. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell as I give you the traditional news with a small twist of ratchet. Let's go. Can you see me? I don't know. Oh, there I am. Welcome to House of the Princess 50/50 News. I am your host, Princess AV. I thank y'all for coming. I was a little discombobulated for a second because I couldn't see who was in here. Let me see. And in fact, let me get myself up on my screen here so that I can see all of y'all. Happy Friday. I hope that you're watching from home. I see some of y'all just said y'all trying to keep safe from the snow. But if you got your coffee, put a little extra shot of Bailey's Irish cream in there. Or, if you got some clear water, some vodka, whatever you got to do to get through your work day. Or get you an extra glass of water here so we can have some good time with the news. I just want to peep and see who's in here today. My day ones and my regular shout outs. To my mods that's in here. Wait, I done tore my sheet of paper. Lord, looking for something else. Okay, here. I'm gonna get together in about 2 seconds. There we go. Hey, why are you bothered? Yes, y'all listen to me in the news. Evangelist Val is in the building. My mother, Black Diamond. Yes, y'all are in the building. Sean, everybody. All right, I saw y'all having some good conversations, so I wanted to be nosy, okay? See what y'all are talking about. Hey, Kamiko, AP, I'm finna call you AP Del. Look, that's the restaurant on the corner. But AP Leo Queen, it's 24 degrees in Dallas. That's just as cold as it is in Chicago. But they said it's going to be like 2 degrees tonight. And maybe the wind chill will be below 0 tomorrow. So should I have put that on? Made it too shiny for the camera. I don't know, but that's what that Young Bella lip gloss does, honey. We'll get it down. Mr. Reed, I ain't seen you in a while. Hey, CC. Yes, TGIF. Thank y'all so much for the compliment. I'm trying to get myself together, Drea. Everybody's a support team. Everybody's here. Okay, we got a good amount of people. Now, as y'all are in here, I hope that you have sat down and had some manners and pressed the like button. Okay. I see YouTube has been tweaking today because it did it in another chat. Right now, I only see one person watching, but it was 20-something a minute ago. We ain't worried about it. If you in here, you in here. If it's up, then it's stuck, okay? Press the like button. And if you're watching on the replay or you're in the chat and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please make sure that you're still subscribed if you were previously subscribed. And in addition, I'm going to request that you also press that join button, because that is what keeps the channel going. That is a different type of support where we get your monthly support, and I can continue to do fabulous things with your membership, far as upgrades, and there is benefits to your membership. We also are welcome here for super chats, Venmo, PayPal's, and all of that. And then I'll put my Cash App. Well, my Cash App is there anyway, right here in the corner, but I'll put my information up later. Then, like number 16. Yes, yes, yes. What color am I wearing? I don't know. I know it's a purple, but they have weird names. But it is the purple by Kat Von D, and probably while we were watching a video, I can go get the exact color. And the lip gloss I just put on is the brand new Indigo by Royalty Beauty Brands, Yumbella flavored. So without further ado, okay, and like always, I did something ratchet, okay, and I forgot to share my lovely screen so that you can see all of the wonderful news stories that I have put together for you today. And yeah, I have some extra stories, but then I took away some stories all at the same time. So we do have a packed news schedule today. So I don't want to do a lot of stalling, because some of this stuff is going to be funny, and then some of it is, I don't want to say triggering, but it sure do piss you off, okay? And that's for sure. So we're going to get down to it. Yes, 50% righteous, 50% ratchet. Yes, all day, every day. Okay, so let me take my little tag off of here. So what we're going to do, our first story. And yes, I do have a stank face. Our first story is about a convicted murderer. Former cop Jason Van Dyke has an early release from prison. I believe he was given 8 years, but he has served just a little bit over 3 years, and he is released. This story here, we'll get details from ABC News 7. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Oh, got to add it to the stream. So let's hear from them first.
Jason Van Dyke tonight has been a free man for almost 24 hours. He was released from the downstate Taylorville Correctional Center shortly after the clock struck midnight. This minimum security facility was Van Dyke's stepping out point. He was flown back to Illinois last Friday from an undisclosed prison, according to law enforcement sources, but was locked up in several facilities, both in and out of Illinois, since being sentenced to nearly 7 years back in 2019. Tonight, Van Dyke is out of prison after serving more than 3 years, what amounts to almost 50% of his sentence, which in Illinois is normal for any felon who behaves while behind bars.
It's really up to the Department of Corrections in Illinois to make decisions about how long a sentence a defendant serves. And their rule is good conduct is about half.
Van Dyke's original sentence and the half sentence he served both have riled members of the victim's family. 17-year-old Laquan McDonald had a knife when he walked away from police in 2014. During this incident, the Chicago teenager was shot dead by then Officer Van Dyke, who fired 16 times. Federal authorities are being pressed now to charge Van Dyke with having violated Laquan McDonald's civil rights. Former federal prosecutor and ABC7 legal analyst Gil Sofer tonight says one federal investigation produced no charges, and now 7 years have passed. But he says there's a new administration in charge of the Justice Department.
Do things change depending on who the Attorney General is in this type of a matter?
I mean, things can change, and decisions can change, and the department may, if it changes policies at some high level, it may decide that this is something that requires reconsideration and prosecution. It can happen, but it's after this much time has passed, it simply is unlikely, and particularly on a set of charges that are not always easy to bring.
Van Dyke will spend the next 3 years on parole. In Illinois, it's called supervised release. But by whatever name, he will have to jump through hoops. He can't leave the state without court permission and has to report in regularly to an Illinois parole officer.
People here don't give a fuck about that. The problem is that he he murdered that young boy, and in the first place, it was felt that 8 years was not enough. It was a slap on the wrist, and he really didn't even want to serve that. People are protesting right now because they feel that this is an insult to the family, and especially to let him out early. Even Jesse Jackson and the crew has gotten in on this. They're out protesting as of last night about this. 2 weeks ago, they were trying to boycott the CTA because of this. People here are not happy. I am wary that we may have some civil unrest behind it, but things happen. This is the people speaking out, and they do what they have to do to uh, get their voices heard. But guess what? You got to have the was it the pigmentation, the persuasion for the occasion. So it is what it is. So um they Caucasian persuasion. We're very racist city, so it makes things happen. So we'll see how this moves forward. The second story is trigger warning. It's very upsetting. Unfortunately, a young man and his grandmother were killed in a shooting. This is the second week in a row. Last week, I had a story for somebody that is my acquaintance, was a husband of someone I went to high school with. He was gunned down on the street last week. Well, the Sunday before last, but I would have reported it last week. And this week, another person has been gunned down. I met him once, but he is adjacent to someone I know as well. And so this story, get it up here. This story is brought to you, I believe, by Fox 32. And here we go.
This right here is devastating because they just don't know what they took from me.
Hers is a family left devastated by violence after she says a gunman opened fire on her grandmother, her step grandfather, and her uncle during what the family says was a botched robbery attempt. While 55-year-old Vincent Johnson survived the attack, his 67-year-old wife, Gloria Bender, and her son, 42-year-old Erskine Bender, did not.
Y'all took not one, but two people from us at one time.
The family says the attack happened shortly after 6 this morning as the trio headed out, as they do every first of the month, to pay bills. Johnson was at the wheel. Relatives say the trouble began after the victim stopped in an apartment building in the 900 block of East 79th Street so Erskine Bender could check on a family member.
And the guy came near my brother, shot my brother in the head, and shot the car up. He shot the car, but shot my mother in the face.
Despite a barrage of gunfire, the three managed to make it to safety a few blocks away, with their bullet-riddled vehicle coming to rest in front of a neighborhood daycare. Meanwhile, as police rushed to the scene, witnesses say the gunman ran back into the building, triggering an active shooter response by CPD's SWAT unit. The police presence closed 79th Street for nearly 6 hours.
It's crazy that you can't even drive down the street without shooting, carjacking, stuff going on.
And while police have not shared any details or a motive for the crime, only saying that they are still investigating, our family prays that the person responsible will turn themselves in.
They took my best friend, my grandmother, from me. And I pray that whoever did it, we get justice.
Reporting from Chicago's East Chatham neighborhood, Evelyn Holmes, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
My prior job was down the street from there. That is a very popular area, very popular street. Businesses right there. That's disgusting. To do that to that lady. And after watching this, I know more people that are in that video. I don't know them closely, but I'm familiar with all of those people. I just can't imagine, and now they have to funeralize multiple people in their family that is not hurting anyone. They were doing nothing. What I read in the article is that as everyone does in the first of the month, they were going to go pay their bills. He was doing a good deed to go help his mother, do their first of the month duties, go get their money orders, go, cash their checks, pay their bills, maybe go get a few grocery and come back home. But to think soon as you step out your door that somebody has such hatred for you and that would do something like that to you and even to your family who has absolutely nothing to do with what, it's disgusting. I hope that the killer or killers are brought to justice. My condolences do go out to the family. And it's unfortunate. So on to the next story. I probably need to pay attention. For people who have drawn unemployment, as we know, during the pandemic, having unemployment and getting payments and getting in touch with an operator, it was horrifying. It was very tedious. The Illinois Department of Employment Services has always felt falling short in this area. Hell, they probably just now catching up to calls and people getting their payments now. So now there is an issue with people getting their 1099s, whether it be in the mail or electronically. So that is this next story that we have here, brought to you by CBS News 2 Chicago.
It's tax season, but thousands desperate to get the paperwork they need are finding website glitches, long waits, and still no tax forms.
And they're getting no help from the state, so they reached out to us. CBS News' Tara Molina, always investigating, took their concerns straight to IDES. Tara.
Brett and Erica, people are stuck without this 1099-G form, and many of them are reaching out to us. They're detailing issues with the state's website, calling them glitches, and claiming they're to blame. The messages have flooded the CBS 2 tip line. Illinois unemployment is locking people out of getting their 1099 tax information. This happened last year, and now once again, their system is failing residents of the state. I am extremely angry that Illinois has not fixed this problem. Please help. So what's the deal? We got this notice from the Illinois Department of Employment Security this week about the availability and accessibility of 1099-G tax forms via mail or electronically. Brandy Thatch told us she wishes it was that easy.
It's really kind of been a nightmare.
Back at work now, but out of work for part of the year due to the pandemic, her issues focus on iLogin, the security measure implemented by the state to keep fraudsters out. But it's keeping people like Brandy out too.
I actually was panicking myself when I realized I couldn't get into my accounts once again. Try over and over and over and over again.
Patricia Covestall told us the same thing.
It just doesn't work.
A retired CPS principal, Patricia helps those who struggle with technology or no internet access.
Well, they can't get that basic paper, the 1099-G, which they need.
With more and more people calling the state for help through a public records request, we know 4,681 phone numbers were in the state system waiting for 1099-G help on January 24th, up to 9,076 by the 28th. I brought all of this directly to IDES. A state spokesperson didn't directly address the reported iLogin glitches we asked about, but said trained IDES agents will help claimants navigate iLogin identity verification questions, download 1099-G forms online, or send copies of 1099-G forms via USPS. Their response?
If they could, get the website to run a little bit more smoothly, I think it would cause a lot less of the issues that they have.
Now, right now, the state IDES won't say if it's looking into the issues that we brought to them through this story, the issues that you brought to us, but we did include more information from the state and resources they sent our way on this. It's all in this story on our website right now. For CBS 2, working for...
Everything is easier. They got all the money to do all the wrong shit. but they never take the time to do what they need to do to help the people or do the right things. And for those who are coming in a little late, it's okay. It's better late than never. It's still early right now. We are doing local news. And for those that are watching for the first time, I forgot to put that up. So I did that just now. We're doing local news to Chicagoland, in Metro Indiana. So that is what we lead with, because that's where I'm from. Okay. And my name is Princess AV. You're watching 50/50 News, 100% news with just a twist of ratchet. So I see cousins in the building. Hey, cousin, thank you. And hey, Yvette, everybody that's coming in, share the video. Okay. Like the video. Let people know to come on in and support a Black sister. Okay. Our next story is, and see, we had a lot of short ones today, so I did some longer ones. This one I found a little interesting. It's more sports oriented. The coach of the owner of the Chicago Blackhawks, he decided to spaz out on some reporters based on some questions to some answers that some questions that he didn't like. And also, one quick moment, Janet, I believe, asked me what color that I'm wearing. I am wearing Echo by Kat Von D. As much as I push her stuff, I need some type of sponsorship and endorsement, and I think I might ask for it. Okay, and I just made it glossy. It's very matte. I made it glossy by just using a pinch of indigo by not House of the Princess. That's me. By Royalty Beauty Brands. It's my Young Bella lip gloss. Go get you some. Okay. All right. So again, let's play this next story. You might get a kiki out of this, but let's see.
Owner facing a backlash for berating reporters at a town hall event last night.
Matt Son joins us with what the fallout could be after Rocky Wirtz's outburst and also what set him off on this one.
Yeah, first off, the Blackhawks may be facing 3 new lawsuits and more fallout from the sexual assault allegations against former video coach Brad Aldrich. This news comes on the heels of Chairman Rocky Wirtz's just stunning outburst at that town hall. Now, if you missed it, he took extreme issue with 2 reporters simply asking about what the Hawks are doing to change going forward.
I think much of what happened to Kyle Beach stemmed from a power imbalance between a coach and a player and the powerlessness of a player in that situation. So what are the Blackhawks doing? What have the Blackhawks done? What will the Blackhawks do to empower a player in a similar situation to make sure that doesn't happen again?
I'm going to answer the question again. I think the report speaks for itself. The people that were involved are no longer here, and we're not going to talk about what happened. We're moving forward. That is my answer. And what's your next question?
I can pick up to what we are doing today.
No, I don't know. That's none of your business. That's none of your business. What we're going to do today is our business. I don't think it's any of your business. Because I don't think it's any of your business. You don't work for the company. If someone in the company asks that question, we'll answer it.
I'm sorry. I'm a little mystified here because during the General Block briefing, you guys talked about a change in culture and transparency and demonstrating the new culture and values that are going to protect players and protect the organization in the future. And it seems like the second that we asked a question about that, it's met with resistance. So I'm going to ask it again.
Answered it. No, I answered it, and I told you to get off the subject. We're not going to bring up the report.
No,
you read it.
We're not asking about the report. We're
asking about what the report was talking about, and I told you we're moving on. Now, I don't like these. I think you're out of line to ask this line of questions. Why don't you ask about something else? Why don't you ask about the GM?
Okay,
why don't you do something else?
Okay.
Why don't you bring up old business?
Again, this was a town hall event put on by the Hawks with media and fans invited, and new CEO Danny Wirtz and President of Business Operations Jamie Faulkner were outlining how the organization is moving forward. And it was supposed to be all about transparency. As you can see, Danny Wirtz even tried to chime in, but Rocky would not allow it. Now, Rocky Wirtz did issue an apology after the event, but many are not calling on him to step down. To remember, Marie, it really is just amazing that Rocky was seemingly caught off guard by these questions that were obviously going to come up at an event like this.
Yeah, it got so defensive, and reporters have a right to ask those questions. They should ask those questions, and it's interesting to see Rocky Wirtz generated such goodwill and good feelings during the Blackhawks Stanley Cup runs.
Yeah, but all seemingly gone, especially after that.
All right.
Ooh, that is a good question, Kamiko. And you can see that privilege just shining through, honey. Just shining through. I questioned that. That was interesting, but he was just so nasty, so rude. But they said he was rude to everybody, white and black, okay? And so he was putting, his ass in the fire. He's probably a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't have to be that way. I guess after folks tore him a new asshole, then he decided to apologize. But you already fucked up, sir. What they're asking, for those who do not know, there are a lot of allegations going on about the Blackhawks, and they are saying some of the players were not only intimidated, but they were assaulted and misused. I'm trying to use the verbiage during their tenure there as players. And we're not just talking about women, we talk about the players, the men, and different things happen in the back of the locker room, okay? And they were told and people ignored. So recently, in the past few months, some folks got fired, okay? And some folks got their asses handed to them, and there's lots of things to come, criminal charges that are to come. So I guess he was a little nervous, okay? Because that it's some smoke in the city. And so y'all should be counting your days, okay? That's where some of that heat in his chest came from, because he didn't want to fuck up. But y'all already done fucked up the thing. So y'all go ahead with that, okay? So we'll see how that happens. So our next story comes piggybacking off the story that we did Wednesday. Yeah, he's an old cool. Exactly. You knew they was gonna ask your ass that shit. Come on. My next story is a follow-up to the story that we had Wednesday. I'm calling it, she's a young lady, where a woman was killed in the midst of crossfire. So I have a story that follows up to that, a little bit of detail and what has transpired since then. Okay, let's pull it on up here.
New at 5, new details about a shootout that left a Chicago grandmother dead.
We've learned a security guard whose sources say fired the shot that killed Bobby Johnson barely had any training. CBS News' Jackie Kostek is live outside Chicago Police Headquarters. Jackie, you talked to that security guard's boss.
Yeah, Erica, I did, and the owner of that company tells me the security guard involved in that shooting had just been hired and had only worked about 10 shifts. I spoke to the owner of Bounty Task Force, who confirmed that his employee was the security guard working outside of Woods Food and Liquor on 35th in Indiana. He was on duty when a man opened fire, and a shot fired by Brown struck 55-year-old Bobby Johnson in the chest, killing her. A police source says the incident started with an argument between Brown and a man outside of that liquor store on Monday. Police say that man returned on Tuesday. He and Brown got into another argument, and the man shot Brown once in the leg. As the man ran away east on 35th Street, the police report says Brown shot in his direction.
He was laying on the ground and just shooting down the block.
A witness spoke to CBS 2 Tuesday, describing Brown's shooting as reckless.
He could have shot anybody who came out of either one of their stores down there, had him shooting his gun. He could have hit anybody.
The 34-year-old Brown has an extensive criminal history dating back to 2005, involving armed robbery and domestic battery. The owner of the security company said he did do a background check, but did not know that Brown had a record. The owner said Brown came in with standard 20 and 40-hour security training certificates. Yeah, the owner of that company says that he doesn't know if Brown is still in the hospital right now. We do know that police are still searching for the man who fired that first shot. And just to give you a little perspective of where we are right now, we're standing right outside of CBD headquarters on 35th in Michigan, and you can actually see that liquor store just about a block away on the north side of Indiana. Brad and Erica, back to you.
So this lady done lost her life for some fucktards, okay? As I told you on Wednesday, that it was obvious that that shooting was a personal thing, especially for him to just be shooting arbitrarily like that, and you don't even have no aim, sir. You know, you're the worst. I'm not gonna promote criminal activity, but at least if you're going to do something, please be good at what you do. I was taught in school and by my parents, whatever you do, be the best at it, okay? But you obviously are an ancient person. I'm curious as to how he was able to circumvent the system, that his criminal history did not come up in order to be a security guard. Just for me to get my FOIA card, just for me to work at Chicago Public Schools, just for me to do anything, there is a federal background check that they do on you. Shit, to do Uber recently, I had to wait a month to get a background check. So what the fuck happened with him? And then he had a gun, and you've committed a felony, battery, armed robbery. So he shouldn't have even had a goddamn gun in the first place. All things wrong in this situation. Yeah, it's Sean, I agree. It's probably some old, they was like, oh, come on, fam. You know, his face looked like he is a shitty person. Like, he go on here, take the picture. Like, you know, you've been in and out of jail. That's what he looked like. You know, that's his home. But I salute the young man for trying to do something positive with his life, and it was probably one of the only few jobs that he can get. But look what happened. He said this woman is a gospel singer, a grandmother, somebody trying to live their life right, and just it's more than one person at fault at this point because the system is fucked up. And he gets to be out. Well, he's got to do some time because he had a damn gun and he shot somebody. That's homicide. It's manslaughter. But he wasn't supposed to have that gun at all. So some other people need to be held accountable for that. Whom I can't say. Because if the security company say they did their due diligence, who am I to say that they didn't? But there's something wrong. There's something not right in the milk. I hope they find that other fucker, okay? I'm sure they should have had them on tape. You're right there across the street from the police station. Come on. Come on. Gone. Let's ride. I haven't even let anybody ride in the car. I haven't picked up anybody yet. Yeah. All right. So then our last story is some of y'all been asking for the plug. Well, guess what? If y'all was out here waiting on the plug, your plug got taken. Okay. Our next story is about fake stuff seized at O'Hare. CBS 2 News gives the report.
Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Versace, they are iconic fashion houses whose luxury goods remain in high demand. But here you are looking at counterfeit purses, belts, and scarves, and more discovered by Customs and Border Patrol on Monday. They seized this shipment as it arrived at O'Hare from Israel, filled with $713,000 worth of fakes. Chicago CBD says in January it averaged at least one shipment a day of counterfeit goods totaling $2.88 million. While most of those shipments arriving here were headed for other U.S. cities, some had final destinations as Chicago, Joliet, and Lake in the Hills.
President Biden addressed the nation.
Now, buddy. I kind of like that Louis Vuitton scarf. I wonder, did they have some Louis Vuitton shower curtains? Cause you're sorry you ain't finna get your Jordans. You're not finna get your purses. The plug has been unplugged for right now. You're gonna have to wait till they open some more of them supply boxes just sitting on the side. She said, I am not ashamed. Give me the fake, okay? Somebody mad than a mofo, okay? That's a lot. 750 grand. So if it was 750 grand in the box, so that might have been, 1.5 million to 2 million, in the pocket, okay? So we have stores that sell fake purses wholesale. So some of them stores, they about to be dry. Who, Charlie, do you put insurance on if you buy fake goods to resell? I don't know. I will buy the real and I do buy the fake. I'm not ashamed. Now, if y'all saw me with my MCM bag and the way I dog my little Calvin Klein bag, those are real. I prefer sometimes to buy the fake because I dog them. I'm just throw it on the floor, the partner formerly known as the young man. The fuck? You just throw the purse on the floor and you know how much that was? Well, it's things, I understand you're supposed to treat them better, but sometimes I just be like, it's just things. I'm just as happy with my Target purse as I am with my designer purses. It's all the same. Put the shit in it. Oh, you got flaming hots at the bottom of the fucking purse and cookie crumbs. What the hell? So yeah. Yes. All right. So with that being said, guess what? We 30 minutes in and we are done with local news. All right. If you're just coming in and you're like, who the hell is this alpha? Well, I am Princess AV. That's who I am. And you are watching 50/50 News. And if you have not taken the time to like and subscribe, please do. Okay. Like the video. Okay. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000. It doesn't cost you anything. You could subscribe and become a royal citizen. And if you join the channel and hit that join button right down there, and it is in the description box, the link is you can become a legal card carrying royal citizen. It is I'm just tongue tied today. It is benefits to your membership. Also, I do ask that you be benevolent on today. Send me a cash out. Send me a super chat, a Venmo, and or a PayPal. And Zelle too. I accept all forms of payment. Or if you would like to support my store, Royalty Beauty Branch, you can go get you some bundles, go get you some eyelashes, or go get you some good, great lip gloss by Young Bella. And I don't have any just right next to me outside of some samples. And that ain't going to help you none. You want to see the good bottle with the wand. But all of that is in the chat. I know my moderators post up on a consistent basis. Please like the video, hit the notification bell, and you can know when I am live all the time, because I do run my channel like a channel. There is an array of programming here for everybody. Also, my other channel that's getting a slow roll, Princess AV Tried It. Please go over there and subscribe as well. That's down in the description box. We do movie reviews, vlogs, lots of little videos I got to finish editing and put up there, fun stuff. And I'm actually, y'all, I might put a poll up. I heard from a few of my members, but I'm thinking about starting a third channel exclusively for my crafting instead of putting it on my second channel. So we got a little stuff going on. We do a lot of stuff here, and I'm looking forward to having a great year with y'all here. Let me see what you're saying. Hey, y'all that's coming in. Simply, let me see, did I miss anybody? And Candace, how y'all doing? Coming on in here, sitting by the water cooler. Okay. I thank you so much. Also, while it was on my mind before I forget, and I'll probably say it later, 50/50 News is a very special project for me, but as is all things on my channel, but this is really special. If you feel to need that you want to use a story or my commentary, especially from the newscast, please just let me know. I'm not real hard ass on striking people, even though I will if you try me. But feel free to ask me. Just DM me or email me. And those are ways that you can contact me. Just DM me, email me, or hit me up on the community tab or something, or in YouTube, and I will answer. All I ask is that you ask me and that you cite your sources. That's all. So if you want to use something, just let a player know. So from that, we go to worldwide news. Okay, we're going to go with news all across the world and nationally. Our first news story is about President Biden, and America has invaded. Was it Turkey? I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't want to fuck up the real news. But we have taken down the Islamic State president. He has been killed, and so there is an extensive story about it. If you guys don't know, about these things, and us battling Al Qaeda, the Taliban, and different terrorist threats. Apparently we've done something great again. Catch what I did with that. So here's the story given to you by ABC News Alive.
This morning, speaking about the U.S. Special Operations raid that killed the leader of ISIS in Syria. He says during the mission, the target detonated an explosive, killing himself and members of his own family, but that the U.S. did everything possible to limit civilian casualties.
Thanks to the bravery of our troops, this horrible terrorist leader is no more. Our forces carried out the operation with their signature preparation and precision, and I directed the Department of Defense to take every precaution possible to minimize civilian casualties. Knowing that this terrorist had chosen to surround himself with families, including children.
Let's bring in White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks and former State Department official Colonel Steve Ganyard, ABC News contributor, for more on this. Steve, we heard President Biden go over many of the atrocities that this leader was responsible for. How significant is his removal?
Yeah, Diane, ISIS has sort of been, hasn't been in the headlines lately, and Al-Qaeda certainly has been out of sight for quite a while. We still don't know where Zawahiri is, but if you listen to the Pentagon briefings in the past couple months, they've been very clear that ISIS remains a very potent threat, and that they are reorganizing and trying to rejuvenate the organization. And so to take out the leader is a big blow to that organization. Oftentimes it'll just be the next person up. But as the Israelis say with terrorists, it's sort of like mowing the lawn. You need to take out who you can, when you can, but you have to be prepared that the organization will eventually rejuvenate itself, and there'll be somebody to pick up the mantle.
Mary Alice, what can you tell us about how this raid was planned and ultimately executed? It sounded like the president wanted to make very clear today that they did try to limit civilian casualties, despite the fact that it sounds like some were killed.
Diane, that's right. And that was exactly the message from senior administration officials that briefed reporters this morning. They said that they started planning this operation back in December, but that the president gave the green light on Tuesday in a conversation in the Oval Office, and then overnight was being briefed and getting real-time updates, following along with his vice president and members of his national security team in the Situation Room. One bit of color, they said that when the operation was finally done, the president said, "God bless our troops," before going upstairs, and then received continued updates throughout the night from his national security advisor, Jake Sullivan. And you're right, this morning, the senior administration officials said exactly the same, that they took extreme measures to try to limit any civilian casualties. That's first reflected just in the fact that this was sort of a manned mission, that we put U.S. troops there in harm's way on the ground instead of carrying out a drone strike. But more than that, there was a conversation about how they worked to get civilians out of the first floor of this residential building. They knew the target was on the third floor, and they worked to clear those lower floors to try to get
get civilians out of the way. This is, again, according to the government officials, that they made loud, audible announcements in the area to try to get people to leave. That's pretty normal with a mission like this, but to, again, try to tell people what's going on, who might, to make sure that people are inadvertently sort of mixed up in this. And then they did a lot this morning to point the finger back at the target, to say that the civilian casualties that were caused there on the ground were the result of his actions, that he detonated an explosive, killing, they actually used the word murdering, his own family and other residents in the building, because the U.S. forces, according, again, to administration officials, were doing everything they could to limit civilian casualties. And Steve, President Biden said that, quote, this operation is a testament to America's reach and capability to take out terrorist threats, no matter where they try to hide, anywhere in the world. Do you think we can expect to see more operations like this one in the future?
Yeah, I think, Diane, if you think about it, this is very much like some of the other high-value targets that the Special Operations Command has taken out. Go back to the bin Laden raid. Remember that the bin Laden family was living in a multi-story building that looked very much like this one. Then remember Baghdadi, who was head of ISIS, was also caught in a building like this, and he too ended up blowing up innocent people. So maybe there was a realization that bin Laden got taken alive, or at least they entered the house in a way that Baghdadi and Qureshi didn't want to happen. But these kinds of raids, as Mary Alice alluded to, these kinds of raids take months to plan, because the U.S., frankly, the U.S. gets a lot of heat for civilian casualties. But I can assure you that at the military level, every effort is made to minimize civilian casualties. And so in this case, I would imagine that they would have wanted to get al-Qureshi alive just for the intelligence value. The fact that he blew himself up along with his family took out a treasure trove of intelligence that they could have gotten from him or from some of the computers that might have been around him. So it's these kinds of things are very, very tough. They take a long time. The intelligence takes a long time to develop. The U.S. Special Operations Command wants to be absolutely sure of the target being there and to minimize civilian casualties. But I think going forward, eventually, that unfortunately, that ISIS will rejuvenate in some capacity, and these kinds of raids will continue.
All right, Mary Alice Parks and Steve Ganyard, thank you both. We appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the...
I don't have a tendency to have a lot to say about these types of stories. We all know the government is watching and listening and thinking, but I found it funny they talked about civilians. Y'all don't give a damn about the civilians, and I found it so interesting. Like, them people, they don't give a fuck. They will kill. They will shoot up their own family. They blew up themselves. They blew up their family. Like, they really stand for their cause. Okay. And by any means necessary. And I find that very interesting. I wonder what comes from this. Of course, Al-Qaeda is a very powerful organization. I just found it interesting but I wanted those of y'all who are not in tune what's going on in our world today, that you really know what's going on, that you are somewhat in tune, because shit is fucked up out here. Okay, please don't think that us going over there is no repercussion, there is no fallout from that. Please be aware that everything that goes on, as they told you, they've been planning this for a while. Somebody's been planning something for us for a while too, so just please stay cognizant of what's going on. And hey, Jay, go follow Jaded Nerd. Actually, he's affected my news today. He gave me a story to talk about today. So shouts out to the Wordsmith family. Go follow Jaded Nerd. And if you need to see it, you'll see it. That is his logo. He does commentary, and he has 2 channels. He also has his True Crimes channel, True Crimes Fairy Tales channel, if you're not aware of that. He does all types of commentary, and he does great with his research and nostalgic commentary as well. So, and he drags for filth if you're entertained by that. But he's not gutter with it. That's what I love. And he drags with with ethics and intelligence, okay? And that is why they are the Wordsmith family. If you ever thought that Candace, who says that she does well with her words, she would be no match for the jaded nerd and his family. So there you go with the snipes. So our next story is another scumbag who has been found. He has been responsible for the death of a 2-day-old baby and her mother. Now, this story, let me see, is brought to you. I forgot this down. Is this down in Texas? Or Arkansas? Somewhere down south. I'm sorry, I got to hear because there's a lot of stuff I forget. I was trying to say, I think this is KPRC if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know. In a hot second. So let's see.
And in other news tonight, we're learning new information about 25-year-old Brandon Isabel. The young father, Memphis police say, admitted to throwing his two-day-old baby into the Mississippi River after killing her mother. Our WREG's Bria Jones joins us live with the latest in this investigation. Bria?
Stephanie, the TBI says the Amber Alert for 2-day-old Kennedy Hoyle is still active, despite her father now being charged in her murder. A gut-wrenching crime breaking hearts across the country. 25-year-old Brandon Isabel charged in the murders of his 2-day-old baby girl, Kennedy Hoyle, and her mother, 27-year-old Danielle Hoyle. Why would somebody want to hurt a baby? She precious. According to this affidavit, Isabel admitted to Memphis police that on February 1st, the night of his birthday, he lured the child's mother to Whitehaven and shot her in the head. He then told officers he took Kennedy to Mud Island and tossed her into the water. Investigators say Isabel also admitted to throwing the murder weapon in the Mississippi River in Wolf River Delta. Memphis police say the search for the baby has been suspended, telling WREG the department will monitor the weather and continue the search when we are able. We dropped by Cordova address where the victim's family and a police source says Isabel lives, but no one answered. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation background shows Isabel has no prior criminal history in the state. He's now facing multiple charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder, especially aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence. The victim's family says they don't have answers, but believe this tragedy could be a result of a now fatal love triangle. Memphis police say they've interviewed other people, but no additional charges have been filed. You didn't want to take care of your child. You didn't want to be in her life. You should have left her alone. Isabel is being held without bond. He's due in court tomorrow. For now, reporting live in downtown Memphis, Bria Jones, WREG News, Channel 3.
And we'll be there to cover it as well. Bria, thanks. This is Break.
So I was right there in that spot in Memphis when we went to visit in April. Thank you, Jaden. I was supposed to show some cleavage today. It didn't happen. But anywho, that I can't even call him a man. That disgusting piece of trash, you demonic piece of shit. You down in the gutter scoundrel. It's obvious that his mental health is severely altered, that he's not right in the head. It's obvious that he is riddled with demons. But I do hope that while you're in jail that you suffer just an unimaginable amount of suffering that you could ever do, not only by the demons in your head, but possibly by another cohort up in there, okay? You deserve to be under the jail. You know, we talk about Black men and abandonment of our women and children, but I would rather your ass had done that and that woman had never seen you again so that she could be alive to raise her daughter and maybe found someone of some substance that would teach her how to pick better men and somebody that would treat her right and treat her daughter right and love on her, because it's obviously that she had a family and somebody that loved her, but she made a mistake about loving and having sex with your decrepit ass. And you did on your birthday. You do that. To be so soulless, to throw a child in the water that didn't ask to be here, and nigga, you just could have put on a condom. I'm disgusted. Okay. Again, as usual, my heart goes out to the family too. My condolences. There's nothing he could ever do to repent or to atone for such a heinous crime as that, because you can't bring people back. What kind of hatred is in your heart? The fact that you took that baby and did that and you didn't feel nothing. Just nothing. Nothing. Disgusting ass scoundrel. And I'm curious as to what made him confess or how he got caught. That's interesting too. And now it is a trigger warning. I'm sorry, I should have gave a trigger warning before I played that story. And you violated her in the face. That's hatred. And he probably has a disgusting hatred for his own self that would cause him to be so mean. Our next story gets a little bit lighter. It's about our soldiers. The soldiers who have decided against getting the jab, they are being dismissed by the U.S. Army. So let's see what this story is about over here in Sacramento.
This is breaking news on Morning Blend Extra Shot.
We continue to follow the breaking news this morning with details about the.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went out of order. I'm sorry. Okay. I done fucked up the thing. This is not quite lighter. It's a little bit lighter, but this is not the unvaccinated soldier show. I was looking like, why is that coming up like that? There was an active shooter down to the Greyhound station in Oroville, California, and he was naked. Okay, so nobody even paid attention to this man walking up and down the street naked. Apparently, he had mental health issues. You're gonna walk up and down the street naked, but he was shooting people. So this story is brought to you by Channel 10 News, Sacramento. Okay, let's try that again. We mess up sometimes because we lie.
The suspected shooter has been identified. 21-year-old Asadi Coleman from Sacramento. Authorities say the shooting unfolded last night on board a Greyhound bus after the suspect got a phone call which appeared to agitate him. They also say the suspect also became agitated because he believed one of the passengers on the bus was an undercover law enforcement officer. Here's what else we know. Victims include an 11-year-old girl and a 25-year-old pregnant woman. The person who died was a 43-year-old female. We also know that the suspect was not legally authorized to own a gun. Morning Blend Extra Shot continues. I'm Walt Gray. Thank you for joining us. We've been following developments with that shooting all morning long. ABC 10's Jay Kim is there live. Jay, you attended the 9 a.m. press conference. A lot of new information came out.
And that's right. Good morning, Walt. Well, that press conference wrapped up just a short time ago, and police described last night's shooting as a chaotic scene. And as you just mentioned, here's that new information that we've learned. The suspect who opened fire, killing one person and injuring 4 others, is 21-year-old Asadi Coleman. Police say he boarded the Greyhound bus in Reading by himself yesterday and started exhibiting paranoid and agitated behavior while having conversations with other passengers. They say he then showed some passengers a 9mm gun that he had in his bag, which he brought on board the bus, which they also say was illegally obtained. That bus eventually made a stop at the AM/PM store on Oroville Dam Boulevard and Feather River Boulevard, and as passengers were exiting, that's when Coleman started shooting at them. Coleman then ran about half a mile down the road to a nearby Walmart, where he became involved in another verbal altercation with a female who was shopping with her boyfriend, which then escalated to a physical fight before he went to another area of the store, stripping off his clothes before police took him into custody. Here's what we know about the victims. The person who was shot is 43 years old. Police still have yet to notify next of kin, so they aren't releasing an identity at this time. The other victims include a pregnant 25-year-old female who's now in critical condition, a 38-year-old male with a minor injury in good condition and expected to be released, and a 32-year-old male who was struck by multiple bullets who's in critical condition, and an 11-year-old that was transported to the hospital and is now in stable condition. Now this morning we saw another Greyhound bus pull up to that same AM/PM this morning and spoke to some passengers on board who say they were shocked to find out what had happened.
It's awful. People don't deserve that kind of stuff.
It's a crazy world, So either people got some mental issues, or some people just did some wrong.
This is a horrific tragedy that was visited upon our community. Another tragedy that we're having to deal with and endure in this community. My heart goes out to all of the people that were on the bus, as well as the victims in this case.
Now, the coroner's office is trying to gather all the information necessary to file charges against Coleman. He's expected to make an appearance in Butte County Court tomorrow at 3 p.m. Of course, this is a developing situation and investigation. Stick with ABC 10 throughout the day for the very latest.
So, Jay, when the bus was going to Los Angeles, do we know anything more about the origin of this bus and its destination?
Yeah, as you mentioned, Walt, that bus was headed towards Los Angeles. They were just making a routine stop at that AM/PM in Oroville. That's a place where Greyhound buses regularly stop, and that's when this all unfolded. So just a tragic situation out there.
Indeed. Jay Kim, Oroville. Jay, thank you.
And this is new at 5. The U.S. Army announced
Again, we're talking about people with mental illness. Someone has done him a disservice. He's only 21 years old, and he has now committed a crime that can potentially take away his life as well, because he has to, do time. People are injured, especially that pregnant woman. Anything can happen to her or her baby in this case. And I just wish that we would take mental health more seriously than what we do. Take care of our children more seriously than what we do. It's important. Pay attention to red flags and telltale signs. Like, that did not have to happen. And how do you get on there with all them weapons? I guess. Whatever. Deborah, welcome. Are you in the UK? I can't remember because you said it's late. It's 9 p.m. So if it's 2, you in the UK? I think you're in the UK. Yes. It's something that needs to be said about that. Just that whole situation. Where the hell was he going? Okay. So again, we're just gonna go right into the next story because I've already prefaced it. Again, this is about these soldiers being dismissed because they're unvaccinated.
And this is new at 5. The U.S. Army announcing today that any soldier who refuses to get vaccinated against COVID will be discharged. Army Secretary Christine Wormuth issuing a statement saying unvaccinated soldiers present risk to the force and jeopardize readiness. She says involuntary separation proceedings will immediately begin for any unvaccinated soldier who does not have an approved exemption or a pending request. The policy also applies to active duty reservists. Soldiers will not be eligible for involuntary separation pay.
The FBI has identified 6 persons of interest suspected of making bomb threats against historically black colleges.
I done fucked up the thing, okay? I was looking like, is it going? So my issue with this is choice. So some people, they go into the armed services because that is maybe a only means of a future for them. And I do realize that they are privy to, they're given vaccinations, a peanut butter shot, Agent Orange, all this stuff that they're putting in their system that they have no idea what it is, but they know coming in that this is what is needed in order to move forward. And now you're taking away the future, the opportunity, the education the means of feeding people's family in the name of the jab. Excuse me. And so that's kind of a fucked up deal. It's fucked up. Some people that they may have been in there as careers, you know, they just didn't sign on. So now, and not only are you giving them a discharge, some people, they're going to get a dishonorable discharge. That's not what they're saying. They're telling you they're giving them a dishonorable discharge because they decided to use their freedom that they tell us that we have. But they'll kill your ass though and send you overseas and go send you to kill people. It's no problem with that. Next. Take you from your families and shit. Our next story, there was a bomb threat and an active bomb threat. February 1st, it's Black History Month. And they said, you niggers got to go. So that is our next story. You accidentally saw a little preview of it here on CNBC.
FBI has identified 6 persons of interest suspected of making bomb threats against historically Black colleges and universities. Law enforcement officials tell NBC News all 6 are juveniles from around the country. The officials said they appear to be tech savvy because they use sophisticated ways of trying to disguise themselves. They say the threats appear to be racially motivated. Yesterday, the first day of Black History Month, more than a dozen HBCUs across the country received bomb threats, according to school officials and social media posts. The day before, at least 6 other schools faced threats. Campuses locking down for hours, classes moving online at some of the schools. The FBI says the investigation is of highest priority and that it involves 20 field offices. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC.
Yeah, so, you know, they just want to kill us. We ain't done nothing to y'all. We didn't ask to be here. But you just want to kill us. You know, you want to tell us to go back from whence we came. Well, I came out of my mother's vagina here at Chicago Osteopathic Hospital, which is no longer, if you're trying to look up, it don't even exist anymore, okay? Y'all and y'all fucked up way of thinking. These children are out here trying to get their motherfucking education. These are the people that are doing positive things in life and trying to be upstanding citizens, and you want to blow them up. They're not fucking with you. Ain't nobody fucking with you. You the asshole, okay? Apparently, you are the degenerate in this equation. I'm just saying. Next. Some more degenerates we're going to talk about. This is also a triggering warning. Okay, an Orlando couple decides to try and rob an old man of 78 years old, and he lost his life because y'all can't just go do right and get your own shit. I'm good and pissed off. I'm glad when I get done with this segment. This is the last story. Okay, let's see what they over here talking about. Okay, this is a Fox story. Okay, we love Fox around here sometimes. Fox 35. Let's see what they have. Did I do that right? Yeah, let's see what they're talking about. I'm not jabbed yet. The libertarians are saying that we have a right to say no. Well, you're supposed to. But, you know, another conversation.
Good advice there. I want to show you this breaking overnight. 2 suspects accused of killing a 78-year-old man over the weekend. A high-profile case arrested. This was video tweeted out by the sheriff's office around 2:15 this morning, which is showing their perp walk. And Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie joins us outside the Orange County Jail this morning. Amanda, we're still working on how these suspects were tracked down, but we know the sheriff said they were not going to sleep until they were arrested.
That's right, and they certainly followed through with that promise, working day and night to track down those two suspects. And it was overnight that they were placed in handcuffs and arrested and then taken to jail. You can see in this video that's new from this morning, the suspects, Javon White and Jasmine Monroe, both are charged with first-degree murder and carjacking. They are accused of killing 78-year-old Yukon Cummings as he walked out of a CVS pharmacy on the corner of Powers and Silver Star Road on Sunday.
Mr. Cummings was returning to his vehicle when he was confronted by two individuals who shot him and took the keys to his vehicle.
Investigators say Cummings suffered 2 gunshot wounds before the suspects ran over him twice as they fled in his car. A brutal attack in broad daylight. The sheriff says his team worked the case around the clock, first finding the stolen car and now early this morning arresting the 2 suspected killers. We are working to find out when they plan to make their first appearance in court. Reporting live from the Orange County Jail, Amanda McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
Fuck these people. Did you hear, trigger warning again, did you hear them say that they ran over him multiple times? I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what we're eating. I don't know what some of you people are smoking. What's in the air? Of course, mental health is an issue. But the types of demons that these people deal with it's something to be said, okay? That they ran his ass over. Now, this man has been living 78 years on this earth, minding his own motherfucking business. Now, I don't know that man to say that he lived his life up and up, but I'm sure that maybe he didn't do nothing that heinous and that disgusting that he had to suffer in his life like that. He got a family. And you wanted his car and a couple of dollars. You bitch, you. And y'all took that man's life for that. I am so disgusted today. I'm very disgusted at just the way people is living out here. It's really, really sad. We can't go to the store. Two stories of people in their golden years today just want to go to the store, minding their own motherfucking business. And somebody had to hurt them. When are we going to start taking our street back? Our lives back? We have to do better. Hey, Jam, I just appreciate you being here. So, yes, that is the end of our world and national news. I want to thank all of y'all for being here. Coming in, coming out, whether you be in the clouds, in the bushes, or whether you sitting in the back of the palace. I know you there, and I thank y'all for being here. If you're just tuning in again, this is Princess AV with 50/50 News. I would like to take a break, and I would like to thank DGF for the Cash App. Hey, Dita. Hey, y'all in the building all over the world. Princess AV is all over the world. Now, look, I am going to take a time out so y'all can get the last of your snacks, refill your cup. I did put a poll up, okay? I did put a poll up in the chat. I would like for you to answer. Should I get a third channel dedicated to my crafting? We'll be putting things up there as you know, here and there, doing some lives and privates, all of that good stuff. Also, make sure that you like the video. If you would like to give a super chat, maybe a Cash App or a Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle. That's it. Let me know. I will put the Zelle and stuff up if you need it. PayPal, email is info@hausoftheeprincess.com. I just need you to like and subscribe. So we're going to take a little break so that you can do all of the business. Also, if you want to try it over there to Princess AV Tried It, we'll put the link in the chat. It's also in the description box. And go subscribe to that channel too. So we'll be right back. Back. Yeah, Zelle doesn't charge. No, Zelle doesn't charge. And all of that, you could do friends and family. Then it doesn't charge anybody for anything when you do friends and family. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, that's our minute breakdown. I play it every now and then. I'm gonna have to, like I said, I'm building as I go and get my things together. So the poll is up, everything is up. So y'all can take a second to do that. Aside from that, oh y'all, somebody asked the question, what kind of craft? What are your crafts? Some of everything. We're gonna be doing crafts. I'm gonna put the schedule out soon. We're gonna do crafts with the members. I do crafts just as I see fit. I'm making my Valentine's Day crafts. I can't reach some of the stuff that I'm doing now, but I am going to put it on the community tab because they will be for sale. Raw DIY. Yeah. Actually, I had named my Etsy store Palace by Princess AV. So that's what I'm thinking about. If I do the channel, what I name it. So I'm still working on this. My epoxy machine, my cup turner should be here soon because I've been doing it the getaway. I don't know. It looks purple, but this is pink. This is a pink cup that I'm doing for Valentine's Day, and it'll have whatever I love you or happy Valentine's Day when I'm done with the epoxying and all of that good stuff. Then I have a red one that I'm working on, so I haven't sealed them in, so you can see it's the glitter here. Let me get off camera for like 1 second. I have an Etsy. I just haven't built it out. I've had it for years, and I just realized that like I should actually use it on my Etsy. I really originally built it so I could put wedding invitations and party invitations because I am a graphic designer. I'm going to put invitations on, and like if you want to buy those potato chip bags and all of that, I can do those for your parties and candy trays, whatever, and all that party stuff. You'll be able to order those things off of my Etsy store. And I said, well, shit, what the heck? I could do these too. So these things will be ready. This was my first one, so I'm going to perfect the second one. This is just a little I love you box that I made, and you'll be able to put your pictures for you and your boo, wrong side, you and your boo in here, and it does light up. I don't know if you can see that I lit it up. I'll probably have to turn the light. Oh, you can see it a little bit. So it lights up, and I'll have this for different sizes, and then it'll say Happy Valentine's Day because some people don't love people. That kind of stuff. I'm putting some things together for. Yes, I am doing mugs. And then I'll be doing cups, doing mugs and doing cups. I'm going to try some of those. So yes, all of that stuff will be for sale. Some things, if it's exclusive to House of the Princess, I haven't made my House of the Princess yet e-commerce, but I'll probably have a link and then run it through my Royalty Beauty brand site. I haven't decided so much how I'm going to do that right now. The House of the Princess shirts, like the 50% Righteous and Ratchet, and the House of the Princess stuff is for sale on Royalty Beauty brands. And actually, probably this weekend, I will give you the colors to the hats. I got a special amount of hats and hat and glove sets that I have for sale. So if you want that, the hat and glove sets, you need to get with me directly, so that, because it's no point me putting it on the website. I'll put it in the community tab eventually. And y'all tell me if you want a hat, because y'all are crying about it's cold. So I got a few House of the Princess hats and stuff. So yeah. You was fancy. Yes, we need an Etsy store for us lazy motherfucker. Y'all thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. So I have a little sleight of hand sometimes. So yeah, that was a little break for y'all. Also, so now guess what we get to do? We get to go to celebrity news. Yes. Let's talk about these folks and get in their business. Okay, that is not ours. So our first story is about, allegedly, they said the judges of The Masked Singer, especially Robin Thicke, walked off the stage when they unmasked Rudy Giuliani. So this story is brought to you by CNN, okay? And they synced everything for you. Now this is okay. I should have got both stories from CNN, but I didn't. So let's go. Can y'all see? Yes, you can.
This story will blow your mind. The subpoenaed, disgraced former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, whose actions contributed to not one but two impeachments, who vigorously and publicly worked to overturn an election, turned up as a contestant on a game show. The Fox show The Masked Singer, prompting two judges to storm off the set in protest. Boy Malas joins us now with what I hope is some kind of explanation, Chloe.
Well, good morning, John. When you put it like that, okay. So yes, The Masked Singer, if you do not watch this show, it's on Fox, and you have celebrities who are singing parts of famous songs, and the judges have to guess which celebrity they think is in the costume. Their voices are distorted, but they're giving clues about this celebrity in the costume. So upcoming season 7, it's going to premiere in March. We have some scoop that you've said a little bit of about the first episode. So yes, Rudy Giuliani is in one of the costumes. He is one of the individuals that is unmasked in the first episode. And when he took, we don't know what song he sang, we don't know what the costume was. John, when he took the head of his costume off, that's when Robin Thicke and Ken Jeong, two of the hosts, judges on the show, they stormed off. They walked off the set. Eventually, they did come back. We don't really know if any words were exchanged. The representative for the show on Fox said that they don't comment on upcoming episodes of the show. We reached out to Ken and Robin's representatives for comment. We do know that this episode was called The Good, the Bad, and the Cuddly, or perhaps that's actually the theme for the entire season. The other judges, Jenny McCarthy and Nicole Scherzinger, they sat there. And then they did interact with Rudy. It's a shock that he was even on this episode, but they say the good and the bad as the theme of the season, John.
Do you think the producers, Chloe, were going for shock value, or are they just kind of ignorant to the kind of person that they were putting in?
It's all about shock value, Brianna. They want to put people on the show that are going to make headlines, that are going to get people to talk about it. But he is an incredibly polarizing and controversial figure. I think that, quite honestly, he might be the most controversial person that's ever been on the show. Many people are upset about this, but again, maybe there's a reason why he's unmasked in the very first episode and then, they go away. They're given the boot. So perhaps some of this is intentional behind the scenes. But again, Robin Thicke, Ken Jeong, not holding back. They're disgust for Rudy being on the show, and they walked off. And it'll be interesting to see how this is all edited. This is going to actually premiere on March 9th. And you know how it works in the editing room. It'll be interesting to see if we're actually going to, how much they're going to play up that drama of that moment.
Next week on The Masked Singer, Harvey Weinstein. The week after that, Manuel Noriega. Great job, guys. Great job. I hope the viewers that you're attracting here are worth it to you. I want to read a tweet from my friend Michael Schur, who's the creator of The Good Place, who just wrote a book on morality, by the way. He writes, the bare minimum, the absolute bottom level for the bar we set as a society must be if you try to launch a coup and overturn a presidential election, you are no longer allowed on game shows. Just think about that. Again, I know everyone gets a chuckle out of this, but, we can all do better than that.
Yeah, that is some kind of line. Chloe, thank you for the...
They ain't playing. Okay. I do find this funny because this shit is bullshit. It's bullshit. And the fact that they brought him up, I wouldn't think, for me, I think that he must be really down low at the bottom of the barrel, that he gonna infiltrate our damn game shows with his decrepit ass to come and sit up here and think that I want to see it, okay? Make it make sense says, I would love to see Rudy's dentures fall out while singing just like Mama D. I deserve, our crazy asses, nutball asses. Okay, we do have some super chats in the building. Thank you, Kay Lynn, for the super chat. We got 2. Thank you, Kay Lynn, for your super chat. And thank you, Carolyn, for your super chat. Thank you so much. Do as many as you can and as many as you want to. All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see y'all are voting favorable for the third channel, okay? Yes, tainting our shit, okay? I do have a group on Facebook that never really, I don't know, I done fucked up the thing. But I do have a Masked Singers group, and I really didn't even finish watching last season. So I think I'm going to go back to that. I love the Masked Singer. Y'all want to sit up here. Y'all just let anybody in the shit. Caitlin, what would he sing? I took your cookies. Pop that coochie. What would he say? Oh, child. The fact that they have it on as a whole investigation going is insane. Like, I just want to see Kim Jong's face, like Ken Jeong. Like the fact that he did that, he was pissed off. Like, I want to see his serious face. Like, I know you fucking lying. That was the year before last, Ebony. I don't know what you watched because that's my favorite. So yes, I like my shit. I love music. And it's entertaining. It was his costume jail time. That the hamburger. Oh, what are the Orange is New Black? Thieving ass people. Oh shit. Okay, next. There four people were arrested in the death of actor Michael K. Williams. Of course, he just passed away a couple of months ago, and a drug overdose. So, yes. Y'all, so I'm trying to be serious.
And now we're following a developing story in the overdose death of actor Michael K. Williams.
4 men were arrested in the case, and as CBS 2's Kevin Rincon tells us, the U.S. attorney released pictures of the actor receiving fentanyl-laced heroin.
Michael K. Williams, the Emmy-nominated actor, was known for his role in the HBO show The Wire. A man got to have a code. He was also a menacing mobster in the series Boardwalk Empire. Got cash behind me. In September, he died of an overdose. Prosecutors say Williams purchased heroin, which was laced with fentanyl and a fentanyl analog from members of the DTO. Nearly 5 months after his death, 4 people in that group have now been arrested in connection to his death. They're charged with narcotics conspiracy. 3 of those defendants made a court appearance here in the city. The 4th was taken into custody in Puerto Rico. According to court documents, on September 5th of last year, Williams was sold the drugs by Irvin Cartagena. Prosecutors released these images they say showed the 39-year-old suspect and delivering the heroin a day before Williams was found dead in his Brooklyn penthouse.
Damn, how it get you on video like that?
And Carlos Macia are also facing charges.
This is a public health crisis, and it has got to stop.
U.S. Attorney Damian Williams says the 4 men knew of the actor's death and continued selling fentanyl-laced heroin in broad daylight outside of residential apartments throughout Brooklyn and Manhattan.
We will bring every tool to bear, and we will continue to hold accountable the dealers who push this poison, exploit addiction, and cause senseless death.
Years before his death, Williams had been open about his battle with drug addiction, calling it an everyday struggle. Kevin Rincon, CBS 2 News.
And federal prosecutors say that drug trafficking operation has sold drugs on South 3rd Street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn since August of 2020.
Because they paying they dues. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. And they all on camera, all in the video, selling drugs. Disclaimer, I do not condone the sales of drugs. I do not condone the use of drugs. But it makes the world go round because even the government is selling it. Sirs, ma'am, sirs. You're going to sell drugs, stop being greedy and cutting the drugs with all of this shit that y'all killing people. You're killing your customers, okay? They will not be back. But I would rather you do something more positive and lucrative to the community, where you are not killing my people, killing our people, killing human beings. If that's something for him to have really been going through something, for him to still even be buying it on the street, having the notoriety that he has, I can tell that had to have been a struggle for him. And it's really sad that he passed away in that manner. Okay, so next story is Nick Cannon and his PP. We all know, we've heard Nick Cannon got that pipe. He's got the hammer. And I believe this man has the hammer because why? He done found another woman to have his baby. So allegedly, he has baby number 8 on the way. And this is brought to you by, again, the Daily Pop on the E! Network. Listen, come on, Nick. Come on, Nick.
Call Planned Parenthood. It seems like Nick Cannon can't stop making babies.
Oh!
He was seen at what looked like a gender reveal party for model Bree Tessie. Guests were popping balloons of blue confetti, and Nick and Bree were at the center of it all.
Wow.
Now, he also hasn't exactly confirmed it, but it looks like if this is Nick's baby, this will be baby number 4, just in this past year, and his 8th kid from his 5th baby mama.
Oh.
Can someone call Dr. Oz to bring out those diagrams about how babies are made?
Oh my God! Can we just call him Nick Condom? Please, Nick Candy. Can you stop it? No, it's embarrassing. It's a lot. It's too much.
No.
Really? I mean, like it's a piece of candy. I mean, what is it? Is he going for like? Is there a punch card? Like your 10th one? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say that because I mean, to me, I feel like babies are wonderful and a gift, but it's like, how you don't have enough time in the day to spend time with all of those kids.
Well, just
with one child. Right. You can barely find the time. I don't know where mine is right now. I have no idea where Riley, if you're listening, call mama. Call your mother.
Call Liz.
I've got one. Like that's gotta be exhausting.
I'm a sex positive.
Help us. Yes.
And I've not been sex positive in a very long time. When I say I'm sex positive, it means I don't judge people for their decisions when it comes to sex and relationship.
Sure. Right.
If it's your relationship and it works for you, it's for you.
Agreed.
8 kids and 5 baby mamas. If you're consenting adults and you know what you're walking into, and this man has told you and has been fully transparent with you, because we know some people who have had the same situation without the full transparency. Who am I to judge you for wanting to be in this lifestyle?
I'm not judging. I'm a daddy's girl. I am a daddy's girl. Do you know what I mean? And I'm looking at.
Okay, so we could talk through this part because it's really not. That's their banter, but I can have my banter. They're gonna talk for about 4 minutes about this. Nick. Nick got the cannon. Yes, I really think Nick, his name is Cannon. For me. It's not so much he having all these damn kids. Because he said he want them, he said he love them, and he damn for sure can provide for them. Not like your proverbial Ray, who lived down the street here, who you knew, or even Future's old stinking ass. Now, Future got that many kids, and they don't talk about his rotten ass like, they talk about Nick Cannon. Future has like 8 babies with 8 baby mamas. And the baby mamas complain that he don't take care of the children. He don't come see the children. He's a fucked up father. Excuse me. So I will give him a half a point for at least being in his children's lives. Dita, yes, I believe he says just about all them children are planning. He hits it and he don't quit it. But he's also said, hey, I'm not ready to be tied down right now. I just want to be free. But what I do feel like is if you want to hit it and have all these motherfucking babies, like you want to have all these wives, proverbial wives, that you should just pick a couple. Okay, if you got the 3-way, maybe even 4 women. Because I have some friends and associates. The Phil Cochran is their dad, and he's a famous jazz player, and he has 27 children. And he has 27 children amongst 3 wives. He don't have 27 children with 10, 12 baby mamas. He had 3 women who were constant in his life until his life was over. And I would admonish Nick, if you're going to have all these motherfucking kids, can you stop electing new baby mamas in order to make them single mothers? Have an arrangement, have some structure with this bullshit. I don't know why you having all these kids. If you want to give your millions and millions to all of these legacies, that's fine. It's your dick, it's your sperm, it's their womb. More power to you. But I would wish that he would think more about the long-term effects on this and spending your time wisely and just being split and run all over the place. Your career has you all over the place. You constantly saying you got to fly here, fly there. Nick is not well. He's dealing with terminal illnesses. It's a lot. You're going to be lacking somewhere. And it's going to be the children, unless you retire, you might have some more time. It's too much. It's too much. But whom am I? Who are me to judge? Just my little funky ass opinion over here at the 50/50 News. So, yeah. Yeah, he's supposed to be a good guy, Yes, just as long as they do. He considering him passing through DNA. His health isn't the best. I think he's been in his own community. So the church, you silly Ebony. And he probably, giving these kids like, let me bless you. Let me put the word on you. I have no doubt that Cannon probably is a good lover. I really do. He's probably putting the hammer down. He's putting the hammer down. And that's why these women's like, yes, and they get paid for their pain, okay? And they get a little check. He gonna make sure you take a good care of, not just the $40. Okay. So our next story, speaking of sex, might be a trigger warning for some of you people out there in the audience. Just let you know right now, this is an older story, but I wasn't here last week to report. Chris Brown has allegations against him again. So let's go to E! News and see what they over here talking about.
Chris Brown speaks out after being sued for allegedly drugging and raping a woman on a yacht. In court documents obtained by E! News, the 32-year-old singer is being sued by a woman identified only as Jane Doe, who alleges that she was drugged and raped by Brown on a yacht that was docked near Diddy's Florida home on December 30th of 2020. Amid the allegations, Brown sends a message to followers on his Instagram story, calling out what he believes is a lie, saying, "I hope y'all see this pattern of cap emoji. Whenever I'm releasing music or projects, they try to pull some real bullshit." E! News reached out to Brown's manager as well as a lawyer that has previously represented him for comment, but did not hear back. According to the court filing, the woman, who is described as a professional choreographer, dancer, model, and musical artist in the suit, was invited to the yacht by Brown during a FaceTime call she was having with a friend who was also aboard the ship. She claims that Brown grabbed the phone and told her that he had heard about her music and urged her to head over to Diddy's home on Star Island as soon as possible. Upon arrival, the woman alleges that Brown took her to the boat's kitchen and gave her a red cup with a mixed drink. The woman claims Brown then offered her tips about starting a career in the music industry before filling her cup for a second time, after which she began to feel a sudden unexplained change in consciousness. She says in the suit that she felt disoriented, physically unstable, and started to fall in and out of sleep. At that time, the woman alleges in the complaint, Brown took her to a bedroom and raped her. She claims that the R&B star ignored her pleas to stop and barred her attempts to leave the room. The lawsuit claims the woman suffered substantial continuing and permanent injuries as a result of the alleged sexual assault. She is seeking $20 million for severe emotional distress, physical manifestations of emotional distress, emotional anguish, fear, anxiety, humiliation, depression, and other physical and emotional injuries and damages, both economic and non-economic, stemming from Brown's alleged conduct. Attorneys representing the woman, George Rayback and Ariel Mitchell, told E! News in a statement, "This is truly a horrific story. Our client will get justice regardless of what it takes, the justice that all victims of sexual assault deserve." An owner for the yacht was not listed in the suit. A representative for Diddy had no comment.
Okay, so here we go. This is a touchy situation, okay? Because after the Me Too movement, we are taught, okay, believe the victims. And I am very, very much an advocate for victims. But when it comes to people like this situation is very tricky. And first of all, there are so many variables here and things that need to be looked into. First of all, $20 million will not pay for the violation of your body. $20 million is a wild ass number to be asking for. You know, what the fuck? You know, $20 million because I was violated. I'm gonna need you. I wouldn't even thought to ask for that much motherfucking money in the first place because I was embarrassed and I was hurt or whatever. That doesn't pay for that, number one. And if I had asked for anything, sure would have been an undisclosed amount. And if she gets something, trust me, they will be settling out of court for an undisclosed amount. Secondly, I heard them say that she was an artist, a producer. So she's in the industry, and I've been in the industry, around the industry, adjacent to the industry. I even know someone who was about to fuck Chris Brown, and he was going to pay to fuck. And they asked you to sign NDAs on that. When you're around the industry and in the industry, you already know what to look for. And you know that almost all, I want to say 75% of the men in the industry, at least from what I know, are some sort of scumbag or sexual deviant. And I'm sorry, I was taught when I went to college, especially, I don't give a fuck if it was Jesus Christ's son that walked up to you and made you a drink. You do not drink it. That was now I fought her a little bit because you had no wisdom. You assumed because it was Chris Brown, like he was above doing some fuck shit. So allegedly he has made you a drink that had drugs in it, when we have seen stories that he allegedly is a drug addict his damn self, and he only scaled back and winded down when he started to have children, or when he has his children around him. You know, these people drink all kinds of shit, Percocets, lean. Drugs are at the party. He sings about people sniffing the white. They got all that shit. So, sister girl, why did you not be aware of the environment that you were in, that you could have been susceptible to some type of abuse? That part, she has to take some accountability for when you say you're around these people, because they do the shit out in the open. They don't hide the shit. When you go to the motherfucking park, they don't hide that shit. Baby, you're going to have to give me an orange that was grown out the tree, and I have to squeeze it myself and juice it before you give me a motherfucking thing, okay? And then you're talking about people, Diddy too, who have already had rumors that this is the type of stuff that they into. You got to be more careful. And any young girl, anybody out there that's in the industry, and if you happen to be watching or you get this message, you have to be careful. Don't let a motherfucker. I used to manage models, and I might go back into it. My models were told, with me, you do not smoke or drink anything while you're at the job. Number one. Number two, I made sure that I watched over any girl that was under my care. Now, if you want to do those things and you want to take Skittles and all of that kind of stuff at the party, that's on you. But know that that stuff is accessible for a reason. It's not just so y'all can have fun and you could, baby, you gonna fall out. They make sure that every drug known to man is available so that you can be available. And if it's not you, it's going to be the next person, because it's always someone who is ready and willing. But if you're not willing and they want you bad enough, they will make it so. Now, in this commentary, I'm not saying that Chris did anything, because I don't have any proof. It has not been proven. These are allegations against him. But I want us to start being cognizant of both sides. We also have to protect our own selves, because, baby, we don't stand a chance. They will take it from you. If not him, even the littlest of the entourage, they will take it from you. They will put you in a precarious situation. They'll have you out somewhere where you can't get away that easy. You don't know where you are. Those parties, those deep, deep parties, I haven't been to none of them, but I know about them. They make you sign NDAs. Some of those parties, they make you check in your phones so you won't take pictures and things like that. And next thing you know, they trying to take your clothes off of you, or they manipulating your clothes off of you. And who you gonna run to? You can't. We have to be more careful ourselves as well. I'm questioning. I want to know, did she put a kit on file as soon as it happened, because it was forcible entry? It's what you're saying, but then they're saying this is way back in 2020. So how far are they on in the process that this is just coming up in 2022? So, you know, I pray that he didn't do it, but this ain't the first time we heard this. And I heard that CB does not like to use condoms. He don't. Look who he be friends with, okay? Just think about that, okay? Our next story is, what is our next story? Because I had them all jumbled up because I changed it at the last minute. Oh, our next story is got to be more careful. Miss Tisha Campbell Martin, or I don't know if she went back to just Tisha Campbell. She says that she was almost a victim of sex trafficking. So here's the video. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me.
Don't freak out, but I think I almost got snatched up. So they don't have Ubers where I'm filming, and I had to call a taxi. So I get this number, but the truck the van that pulls up is real sketchy looking. But there's a guy in the back seat, right? So when he jumps out, the guy is just standing there. I thought he was getting dropped off, but he's just standing there. He goes, "Get in," and I go, "What?" He goes, "Get in," and I go, "No." And then I look at the car, look inside the car, it's fucked up. The rubber is pulled up from the bottom. There's dirt everywhere. The back seat looks like it's snatched out for a fucking reason. And so the guy in the front seat, the driver goes, "Get in the car." And I go, "Well, I'm not getting in the car." And the guy in the back is like kind of mushing his body towards me to get in the car. And the guy says, "Well, then get in the front seat then." I said, "I'm not getting in that fucking car. Fuck y'all. Fuck out of here," right? I asked the lady at the front desk, I said, "Yo, who's the guy that gave me this number?" And she was like, "Why would he give you this number?" Yo, this trafficking shit is real, but they got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. Cause I ain't Gina, bitch. Don't.
Again. We're not gonna say don't believe people's story, don't believe the victims, because we wasn't there. But child, I just want to know these poor people's problems that she's going through, because she said that she was filming. So being an ex-limousine driver myself, I want to know, you know, and again, I'm in the film industry as well. Far as I know, you know, what kind of fucking company are you filming for that you've gone back that damn low budget that they didn't make sure that you had transportation on site? Where are the ADs and the assistants that they did not call a car? And since they didn't have Ubers and shit, that they didn't have limousines, cars, whatever, already on staff, already on ready to come pick you up and take you to your hotel, man. That's why the shit sound crazy. And I heard somebody else say, you know, they sex trafficking. Why would they want your old pussy? That's what other people are saying. You know, I found it interesting. It's just something about this story. It does not melt well to me. Again, I don't want to call her a liar, but now all of a sudden the sex trafficking is just a proverbial, you were sat there and you were put in the back of the white van. A lot of sex trafficking doesn't happen like that. It's you at the club and you meet a young lady and they do the shit in church. So that was weird. I feel like if they was gonna take you, they would have took you, ma'am. The shit sounds crazy to me. Like I said, you are a well-known actress, a world-renowned actress. You got a couple few dollars. Even if them people didn't set up no car, I've been for damn sure I would have had me a car and I would have been told them, you bringing me and I will be ready at such and such a time, or be on call for me. They will have the limousine. They will, baby girl. Okay, you know how this works. We will be there in 10 minutes. Okay? Because that's how a service industry works. What kind of low budget shit you over there filming? I'm just saying. That's what it looks like to me. Okay. So thank you. Make it make sense for I will say that as usual, Mims is messy as he can be every fucking day. So she ain't been right since Will Smith stole her man. These are alleged statements, okay? That is what make it make sense. Yeah, I do a little bit of everything so I can make a living. Okay? Right. Where was the rest of the film crew? So what, no security standing out there escorting you, ma'am? Like that shit just don't that don't make sense to me. She has to be you petty. She has to be on the extra plus spectrum because I could never hear about them trying to kidnap us. Big fan. Y'all people ain't no good. I didn't know kidnappers stand and greet you. The movies say they just throw you in the back. Hey, I beat the shit. And there's no police report. Why are you telling the internet? This shit, it sounds crazy. It should have sounded crazy coming out your motherfucking mouth. Maybe it is promo for a new show. I hope so, because girl. Okay, girl. That's all we can say about that. So we're coming to a close. We have a couple of stories, a couple of cute quips, and look, we're just close to 2 hours. We're doing good. We'll be out by 2:15. Okay, for sure. I don't run my mouth too hard. Our next story is just a cute quip. You know, our good girlfriend, Shakana. Shakana is over here telling you grown people where a man's G-spot is. Okay. And she had to do it very graphically. And I thought it was funny. So it was funny to me. And I just wanted to show y'all. Okay. Here we go. Is we in here? Okay. Yes. Let me rewind it.
So this how he
With no panties on and everything.
in man room. So he has stuff she doing this, right? He going in. This how he going. 1, 2, right? Cool. So this how he is from the back. He fucking you. He going. When he get nut, when he finna nut, he like, ooh. He grabbing all that shit. That shit come from back in his skin. His knees, everything. Ooh. You feel what I'm saying? Where do you think it's coming from? It's coming from back here up to the front. Just like he on the he fuck. Even if he still, oh, we getting that thing. It's coming from here up in man room. So he has to she doing this, right? He going in.
I'm gonna let y'all see this twice.
2, right? Cool. So this how
Dita, you wrong.
He fucking you. He going.
Look at that booty going.
When he finna nut, he like, ooh. He grabbing all that shit. That shit come from back in his skin. His knees, everything. Ooh, you feel what I'm saying? Where do you think it's coming from? It's coming from back here up to the front. He fucking, he laying out fucking, just like he on the he fuck. Even if he still, ooh, we getting that thing. It's coming from here up. Man, wrong. So yeah.
Okay, girl. Okay, so. Oh, I'm sorry, Black Dad. You know, I don't have a penis. Oh shit. Wait a minute, I can't even get a commentary. Look, we gonna thank AP for the cash out. Look, child. Here's some money for the Febreze. We gonna need after watching. This poor baby. She always doing some fuck shit. Thank you, Dita. Look, I don't have a penis, but I for damn sure have an idea where the G spot is. I know she was trying, okay, but I don't think it happens like that. First of all, the man's G spot is inside on the other side of the anus. Okay, I'm giving you a sex talk now. You go inside, and it's near the ball sack, so it's not back here, ma'am. And the booty cheek, I like to feel around the booty area as close as I can. If I'm not all the way back here, when I'm getting my groove on. And I've watched some pornographic material from time to time, especially in my youth, and I don't recall men clenching their booty cheeks as their orgasm. So the way she did that, it's the same person that say she don't put her mouth down there. And this, if you have never examined what you're dealing with, how do you know so much? I'm just saying. Because I'm taking thorough examination. Okay, I had seen that and came across that. I just wanted y'all a mess. I just wanted y'all to take that in just like I had to take it in. Whew, whew. I'll go and take her internet away from her. We don't deserve this. Y'all is crazy. So yes, like I don't, and I'm not interested in. My man does not like. Yeah, I know some men in the chat that be in the clouds. You clench your booty cheeks when you orgasm. Like I'm just saying, I ain't never seen it. I'm not saying it don't never happen, but shit. What did we do? You didn't do nothing. Like I was saying, I didn't need to know that either. You can't unsee it. Well, we gonna see. That's why I didn't make it the last story. We gonna see something else. Okay, and damn, do I have the story? The last story was brought to you originally from a Mr. Jaded Nerd. I know other people have talked about it, but go follow Jaded Nerd. What she said, I'm not paying attention to no. Jaded Nerd had did a video earlier today. Go watch it. It's about India Irie. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give you no trigger warning. Trying to get through it. India Irie and Joe Rogan. Last newscast, we talked about how Joe Rogan was under fire for his comments about COVID. And also how certain artists, the older artists, were threatening to take their music off of Spotify if they continue to support Joe Rogan. Now India Irie is saying that she gonna take her shit off there too. Because let me see if I didn't have time to really look. Let me see if I can find her stuff versus taking it from Hollywood Unlocked. Anywho, she says that black artists are not paid. Okay, and that Joe Rogan has said Niger, nigger, not nigga, but nigger, you know, a couple of times on not only his podcast but all around, and he has been deemed problematic many times. Just amongst the black community, calling us niggers versus niggas. Okay. Oh, look, let's look at CNN. Okay, let me share that. I'm looking for the video because it's on Hollywood and not Unlocked. Please be patient with me for not taking. I didn't get a chance to do my due diligence with this one, but as I said, you can also go. I don't want to read this. Go to Jaded Nerds video because he did a thorough video on this. Okay, and I'm looking for her clips. Blah blah blah. Okay, everybody goes to Hollywood Unlocked. But I'm trying to see where she put it up originally. No shade to Hollywood Unlocked, but shit, I just like to go to the source from wherever it came from, whether it be on her Instagram or wherever the hell they got it from, so that she can get her little views or whatever too. So here we go. Paste. Cut. Yes. So they were citing the source. This goes to Hollywood Unlocked about what India Irie had to say about Joe Rogan. Yes, that was the Boondocks. Every time I hear these white people talking about calling us ninjas, nigga. I didn't say that. No, it still matters, sir, ma'am, sir. Okay. How do I make it big?
I empathize with the people who are leaving for the COVID disinformation reasons, and I think that they should. I also think that Joe Rogan has the right to say what he wants to say. I also think that I have the right to say what I want to say. So as an artist who builds, Spotify is built on the back of the music streaming. So they take this money that's built from streaming and they pay this guy $100 million, but they pay us 0.003% of a penny. Hey y'all, I want to leave a short message here about why I decided to ask my music be pulled off of Spotify. So check this out.
No white people. Says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out and we're giggling. Oh, here's the Planet of the Apes. We walked into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in.
Why is Planet of the Apes equated to Africa?
I empathize with the people who are for the COVID. Just take me off. I don't want to generate money that pays this. Just take me off. That's where I'm at. And I know that I was actually, to be honest with you, surprised that my statements were picked up because I thought people weren't really going to listen to me because that's what I'm used to from the industry. But I'm glad that I am being heard, and for that reason, I want to clarify my statements. Again, this is why. Watch this.
You know, the nigger thing. Yeah, saying the word nigger. I already said nigger. He is just like nigger. Saying nigger. She's calling you a nigger. It's like this boy that he's a nigger and starts calling them niggers. Word nigger. There should be a word like nigger, especially like the word nigger. That's our nigger. Niggers. He says nigger. Guy, a nigger. And then, or nigger, start saying nigger. I'll use the word nigger. Out the word nigger, say nigger or nigger. Say nigger, and you couldn't say
Nigger.
nigger.
So we know how social media can be. Things can be doctored. Just take me off. I don't want to generate money that people are taking out of context. It's happened to me many times. However, I want to be clear, in no uncertain terms, where I stand on this is that he shouldn't even be uttering the word. Don't even say it under any context. Don't say it. That's where I stand. It's my right to stand there. I have always stood there. I have other feelings about it, but those are nuances that are not meant for this moment. He shouldn't even be saying it. And so the confluence of energies comes into play here. So now we have this person who is offensive to a lot of people, who's paid $100 million. Spotify, the backbone of Spotify is the music. So you pay the musicians that are the backbone of your business 0.003 to 0.005% of a penny, and you take this money that you generate over here, because all the rest of it goes somewhere. People are taken out of context. It's happened to me. Man, the subscription fees go somewhere. So you take this money that's generated over here and you use it to invest in this guy. Do what you want, but take me off. Or pay me too. And I don't just mean me, I mean us. Artists like me, pay us too. Pay podcasters of color too. So Artist Relations from Spotify called me yesterday and they asked me what I want, and I've been thinking about this all night. I'm not going to say it all here, but what I want to say to you is something that I already knew, but I want you to know that they said it last night. Most of the streams on Spotify are Black music, but we know that if you're paying attention at all, you understand the role of Black music in this world. So the subscription fees, that's a deeper nuance. There's the musicians, there's the Black music, that is the backbone of the whole music industry, that's the backbone of Spotify too, who are historically underpaid and mistreated and all this stuff. Just, there's a historical context here that makes all this matter. And then there's this guy, and you take this money and you pay this guy who says this stuff? No. So it took Anil Young to open the door for someone like me, but I walked through it because I've been standing at this door for a long time. One of the hashtags I put on my post, the written one, was "What if we all leave?" And I'm trying to see if we could get to happen. What if we all leave? Then we can start having a conversation. You can go from a conversation to a negotiation. So that's a deeper nuance.
Take my music and my podcast from Spotify. Neil Young opened the door that I must walk through. I believe in freedom of speech. However, I find Joe Rogan problematic for the reasons other than his COVID interviews. For me, it's also language around race. It's respect who gets it and who doesn't. Paying musicians a fraction of a penny and him $100 million. This shows the type of company they are and the company that they keep. And I am tired. Look, I'm fucked up in the game, okay? You think she's lying, Janet? Why? Because if he making that kind of money, then what am I doing wrong? I need to brush up on my shit, okay? Because apparently I am not doing enough. Because I needs to be getting, he getting $100 million, you know, to sit here and talk, okay? I mean, I do it too, you know. I'm not saying the fuck. That's a hell of a lot of money. Okay. Now let me. Now I was about to play the cartoon. And I need to play the cartoon. I'm gonna put this. It's hard to find it. I don't know. Why I don't have it in my watch later, or I don't have it saved so I can go to it. But since she said it sounded like the Boondocks, I'm just gonna play it again for the hell of it. For those that didn't get a chance to see it, okay? Yes, this is it. I had to keep scrolling because it's like, can a nigga borrow a fry? Just so we can end this insensitivity and with the laugh. She's not lying, that's the truth. I don't think she's having a hard time believing that. I believe, well, you know, in the industry, they don't pay the artists. They don't. That's in the history. And streaming does not pay. You know, a lot of these artists get paid from touring. So I would be curious as to what part you feel that she's lying about. Because we can always agree to disagree. It's fun. Okay? Let's have a conversation. That's what it's about. So I'm just going to play this ignorance. I've played it before because this is a real true story. It was on the Boondocks, but it's a real story. It was based on something that happened for real. Where white people, you know, I believe in teaching moments. White people thought it was okay. Call black people niggers and niggas. And they made a spoof out of it. So here we go.
It's a derogatory racial remark that has divided people for many years.
And a J. Edgar Hoover elementary teacher has now been suspended over calling a student the N-word. Stacey Renee investigates what happened and why.
And what did he say specifically to you?
He said, "Sit down, nigga."
Riley Freeman is a third grade student at J. Edgar Hoover Elementary School. He's a basketball player, an avid reader, and one day hopes to spread his philosophy through rap music. He was in class when he had a verbal exchange with his teacher, Joe Petto. But Mr. Petto said it was Riley who used the N-word first.
So I told him to take his seat, and here comes this barrage of insults. I mean, some of the words I've never even heard before, and I was just stunned. And I said, "Well, sit down, nigga." I just repeated the insult back to him because that's what I've been trained to do.
That is not what he's been trained to do.
School Superintendent Donald Richards says all teachers are taught to use
Hey, Nanya.
appropriate hyphenated euphemisms instead of racial slurs.
We have a very strict policy against teachers using the N-word or any other racially insensitive words. The district's policy is that teachers should always say N-word instead of the actual N-word, or S-word instead of saying the actual S-word.
What is the S-word?
Well, I don't want to say it, but...
Spick?
No. Spear chucker.
Spear chucker?
Yes, see, we would encourage our teachers to say S-word instead of spear chucker.
And how often do you have a problem with faculty saying spear chucker to students?
We don't. That's what I'm saying. They would say S-word.
But Riley Freeman denies he used the N-word first.
He said, "I used the word before, but I didn't. I wouldn't use that word ever. That word hurts people."
Mr. Petto claims the version of nigger ending in ger is the racial slur, but that he was using a different version of the word ending in ga that means the same as buddy or best pal. He insists that he was using the friendly version of the N-word to better relate to Riley.
I used the word. I admit it. I thought there was a difference between nigger and nigga. I thought I understood this whole thing, but I guess I don't. I need help. Whenever I hear the rappers, they say, nigga. It's in all the music. Look. Rap songs that use the word nigga in a positive way. There's tons of them. Look, real nigga roll call. Niggas bleed. Jigga my nigga. Niggas for life. Real niggas don't die. Shame on a nigga. Suck a nigga. Ain't no nigga.
The school is investigating the incident, but in the meantime, Mr. Petto has been put on unpaid leave.
I just couldn't believe it because nobody ever called me a nigga before.
And how did it make you feel?
Like I was less than a person.
What I don't understand is that if it's so offensive to them, then why do they say it over and over again?
So Riley said the N-word before you did that morning.
He says it every morning. He calls me nigga. He calls the other kids nigga. He calls himself nigga all the time. Nigga this, nigga that, nigga please, bitch nigga, nigga, have you lost your mind? Nigga, check that hoe. Nigga, you bullshitting. Break yourself, nigga. He says it so much I don't even notice it anymore. Last week in lunch, Riley says to a classmate, "Can a nigga borrow a French fry?" And my first thought wasn't, oh my God, he said the word, the N-word. It was, now how is a nigga gonna borrow a fry? Nigga, is you gonna give it back? I'm telling you, my inside voice didn't talk like that before he got in my class.
Now, this deal includes damages to the Freemans, plus a very generous donation to the Reverend Rollo Goodlove Jambalaya of Justice League. Have mercy.
Hey, come here. Look at this. This nigga must be crazy.
Like, this is a real story. They made a spoof out of it, but it's a real story, okay? And I'll see if I can take like a couple more minutes before we go to find it. It's a story where it really was a teacher, a white teacher that was he wasn't even fired. Okay. But he really sat there and did that. And this is why we must have teaching moments with our light-skinned brothers and sisters, and catch them while you can before they get out of hand. And tell them this is why you can't or cannot, can and cannot, well, why you can't, okay? You can't say that, or why you shouldn't say that. I'm cool with if you're a racist and you say those things, and I'm aware that you're a racist, and maybe you wear a hood or maybe a certain type of uniform, and I know where you stand. Yeah, I know what I'm dealing with, but don't play in my face, okay? You know, I expect that from you. I expect for you to be less than. But any other thing, no. You can't say that you aren't racist or you don't have any type of prejudice, and then you use racial slurs on a consistent basis. Racial slurs that you grew up knowing that it's wrong. You know, y'all know what the fuck y'all be doing. So, okay, this is one. I don't want to do that. White teacher calls student cards. I don't want to do the compare. It's one, these people are mixing it together, but I just want it by itself because I know I seen it. Oh, here it goes. Like to hear it? Here it go. Let me save this video so I can always refer to it. Let's save it to the watch later. Okay, here we go. So before we go, I'll show you what the real video is. We need to have teacher moments. Also, that reminds me, John Yates, sign the petitions, okay? Somebody needs to teach him better as well. Sign the petition about canceling John Yates for what he's done, and he's shown no remorse about it. Like I said, I will not continue to talk about it because I'm not going to give him light and give him attention in that form of fashion because he likes that shit. So I'm going to continue to say little to nothing about that. It's a teaching moment. All right, here we go.
Many emotions in people. It's a derogatory racial remark that has divided people for many years.
And a Jefferson County high school teacher has now received the longest suspension on record for calling a student the N-word. WHAS 11's defender Renee Murphy investigates what happened and why in this story you'll only see on 11.
Valley Traditional High School is in the middle of a racial controversy right now. A teacher used the N-word towards a student. The word is only 6 letters long, but the impact is far-reaching. And we do want to warn you that some of the language in this story is strong, and it may offend you, it may offend some other people,
But since the story is not just about the N-word, it's also about the teacher's intent and definition of the word, we have decided to leave it in the story for you to decide.
And what did he say specifically to you?
Sit down, nigga.
Keyshawn Chavers is a freshman at Valley High School, a Boy Scout, a football player, a member of the ROTC, an honor roll student. He was hanging around his teacher's classroom door in December. The teacher told him to sit down, and the teacher says that Keyshawn used the N-word first.
And I just kind of was stunned a second. Well, then get away from the door, nigga. And I repeated the same insult because that's sort of what I've been trained to do.
The school district says that is not what they trained English teacher Paul Dawson to do.
He tried to say I said it, and I didn't say it, and no one else in the class knows that I said it because I didn't.
Documents from the school investigation show that several of the students interviewed from Valley did not hear Keyshawn say the N-word first. Dawson says that students use the slang version of the N-word at Valley High School all the time. He says N-I-G-G-E-R is a racial slur, but says that students use N-I-G-G-A as often as they'd say dude or hey man. And Dawson says as much as he does not like the word, he still used the slang version to feel more comfortable with Black students.
Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it, and I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. Nigga this, nigga please, nigga. Can you lend a nigga a pencil?
What kind of example are you setting for your students if you use a word that you don't want them to use?
Upon reflection, that's not good.
Dawson was suspended for 10 days without pay from January 9th to January 23rd, and he has to go to diversity training. He says that he's learned from this experience and hopes that others think twice before using the N-word.
I will never say any form of nigga. I'm cured of that.
Paul Dawson says that he is sorry for the way things were handled, but Keyshawn says that he is not looking for any apologies.
Apologizing is going to change the fact that it happened and he's not been punished.
And punishment in your mind is?
Not having his job anymore.
He need help.
Paul Dawson says that he wants there to be a steadfast policy in Jefferson County Public Schools against people using the N-word. Right now, when it is brought up, it's dealt with on a case-by-case basis with the district. And we should mention that Keyshawn is still in Paul Dawson's classroom. Dawson has been with the district for 20 years, and Keyshawn isn't still in that classroom because Dawson is an honors English teacher. There are very few honors English classes, so he is still with him.
Well, now he was suspended for a while, but is he back teaching?
He is back teaching now, and he still does have his job. But this is not the first time that Paul Dawson has been suspended from Jefferson County Public Schools. Coming up at 5:30, we'll tell you what happened before. We'll tell you about his plan to appeal the suspension and why the district says that he should keep his job. Thank you very much. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of this. Oh, no, lots more to...
Nigga. He actually inspired me. I made a shirt with an AH. Nigga with an AH. Niggas are people too. I think I made one or two of those shirts. I've been trying to find it. I'm aware it's offensive. I know people was like, what the fuck is you wearing? But I have no shame. Niggas. Niggas are people too. That's what I couldn't believe that was real. But we must teach these people how to treat us, okay? And we also have to be cognizant of some of our own behaviors that, trigger them. But nonetheless, these people need to be held accountable for the offenses that they do. Y'all got right down Whoopi Goldberg's throat. She didn't even say nothing really negative about the Jewish community. But look, she got suspended off her job and she threatened to quit. We don't give a fuck about black pain, though. That's all I'm saying. He didn't lose his job. You about to lose your job. Black Diamond, he crazy. So with that being said, I really don't have any YouTube news. Okay. It's the same shit that's that's being it's been going on since last week. The lead attorney versus Neek at Night. They still going at it. Neek them put a few videos. I was up at 3:00 in the morning the other day, and look, she had about 600 people watching her at that time of morning. I said, God dang, look, I can't wait. I got to get my numbers up, okay? So y'all be liking and sharing, okay? How these people come watch me so I can big up like that, and I can get some old mods, and it be popping in the chat, okay? Not that I don't appreciate you, all of y'all that are watching, I really do appreciate it, but of course we can build and grow. So they're going back and forth, and he talking about he don't know her, now after he to charge all this money for these classes and whatever. And I think it's not just the class. They got to pay for all that money for the class. They got to pay for the Patreon. They got to pay $350 more for an hour of his time. It's a lot. You milking it, baby. You milking it real good, okay? You just sucking on the breast, just sucking dry, okay? You taking whole checks in savings accounts. But I guess, okay? But in the meantime, over here at the House of the Princess, for the memos and things, for Valentine's Day, we are having, and I'm going to make sure, I was going to start on the little video earlier today. I'm going to put it on Instagram and I'll put it in the shorts and community tab or whatever. We're having the best looking couples contest, and we're having the singles living your best life contest. So I do need your pictures and or your little video vignettes. Okay, I need them by Sunday. Email them to me or DM me in one of these lovely DMs of a picture of you and your boo thing, okay? Y'all getting it in, y'all looking cute together. I do have an entry, but look, y'all don't be entering this contest and y'all be missing y'all prizes and your monies and things. And we got some prizes coming. Okay. I want to see you looking good. And I want you to see you out there in life, doing the thing, okay, doing whatever you got to do the best way that you can, looking as good as you want to look. Okay. All right. Shaka Khan, is that what you calling me today? I'm supposed to be red for Shaka. She said, I'm in that. Me and my hubby are cute. Yes. Okay. Also, if you are single life, and I mean single, not half single in a situationship and all that old bullshit. I saw on Kendra G's Instagram channel, she put up, from her single show, a little vetting process that she does. And this motherfucker said, she asked him the last time he had sex, and he had just fucked his baby mama an hour previous to the interview. I don't want that, okay? I ask that you be gainfully employed or in entrepreneurship that is of a profitable measure so that you can pay your bills and rents and things. I don't have 50 million kids, don't do the 8 kids and 5 baby mamas. Sorry, Nick. We're not looking for that, okay? And that goes for the women too. Okay. Thank you, Jackie. I want y'all to be, nice people, okay? Productive citizens of America, okay? Even or around the world, wherever you are of the world. Singles that would you want to date you? I asked you a question because somebody told me, would you want to date you? Okay. Don't be dealing with no heavy mental illness. Okay. Go ahead and go to therapy, get yourself together, because if you got a lot of things wrong with you, the only thing you're going to do is have a wrong relationship. So DM me if you would like to be a part of the love connection, and I'm going to fix you up and zhuzh you up and get you a boo thing so you can Zoom chat with or whatever, And what happens after that, you know. That's on you, okay? So you can either email me, DM me on Facebook, and DM me on Instagram, okay? You have all kinds of ways to get in touch with me. Oh, and Cece's anniversary is coming up on Valentine's Day. 9 years married and 22 years together. That is a long time to love somebody. Hey, congratulations. So yes, singles hit me up. Singles hit me up twice. And also couples hit me up. We're gonna have us a good Valentine's Day, okay? And then I'll start posting. I'm gonna get to work in a minute posting some things that I have for Valentine's Day that I'm gonna make for y'all to sell by and all that good stuff. So with that being said, I went a little bit over time, but it's okay. I love y'all. I'll be missing on y'all. I appreciate y'all, okay? And I appreciate everybody who was benevolent today and hitting up the Cash App. I appreciate you, okay? If you send a super chat, I appreciate you. If you're just watching, I appreciate you. And I would really appreciate if you made sure before you leave that you press that like button and the subscribe button. And if you're not a member, you need to get up on in here and get your membership. Okay, press that membership button and join. We have fun up in here. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want you to go love on somebody, even if it's just yourself or your kids or anything else. I'll see if I decide to drop in. Also, I'll probably be crafting on IG as well. Hey, Tasha Black, you stay in them clouds in the bushes, child. Hey, where it's a little bit warmer than it is in here in Chicago. It's gonna be super cold tomorrow, so it's okay. Besides that, I might slip on in and out, and I think I'm gonna go live on IG if y'all want to be nosy and craft with me. Besides that, I think I've hit up everything I need to hit up. I appreciate everybody. If no one has told you that they love you, I'm gonna tell you that I love you today, okay? And you should love you just a little bit more. With that being said, my name is Princess AV. You have been watching 50/50 News, 100% news with the little twist of ratchet. It's time for me to turn out the palace and newsroom lights. Love you. Bye-bye.